With weather like this, is there anywhere better to be? And a hot summer means good business for pub gardens, welcome news in a pretty tough economy. But it raises a question: will people be willing to pay higher prices? After all, everyone's still feeling the squeeze, but costs for places like this are going up too.
Labour is obviously the one that has had the biggest impact on the business. Following the autumn budget, we probably felt like we needed to be looking at anywhere between 50p and £1 on a pint to get to where we needed to be. We knew that we couldn't put that in April, so we've done small steps along the way which have gone some way to mitigating the costs.
It's decisions like this across the economy that will determine where inflation goes and, by extension, what the Bank of England does about it. For the time being, it's leaving rates on hold, but for how long?
So staying at 4.25%, no one really expected them to come down, but nonetheless, that's where they are. Not long ago, actually, a lot of people out there in the market thought rates were going to come down even more quickly, but now maybe another cut in August and then potentially after that, but slightly more gradually, coming down more gradually. And part of the explanation for that is what's going on with the wider economy. In particular, look at inflation. So this is showing you overall inflation rate, 3.4%. That's kind of where the bank thought it would be around now. But food inflation, they talked about specifically in the minutes, and that's rising by 4.4%. That's higher than a lot of people had thought and seems to be going up even faster. And then there's the bigger picture. So overall uncertainty, so much uncertainty about what's going on in the economy and geopolitics, to the extent that this measure of uncertainty is now up to the highest rate, so the most uncertain in decades.
For homeowners like David, who was recently made redundant and needs to refix his mortgage, rates can't come down soon enough. He's now facing a jump of £200 a month.
It's a massive worry because the household expenditure that we actually have is based around me having a job at a certain wage, which has obviously been consistent over the period of time. Now that isn't the case. When you've got an additional expense when you're already potentially struggling is going to be difficult.
It might be the height of summer, but the Bank of England is trying to think ahead to what inflation looks like in the winter and next summer and the one after that. That will determine what happens next with interest rates. Ed Conway, Sky News.